difficult at the beginning. Like milk and cheese were definitely difficult. Yogurt was difficult, a very hard transition. But after about a year, I didn't want to go back. I mean, first of all, it felt good, and second of all, you were used to the new taste, so there was no need to go back.
I felt more energetic after going vegan, and which wasn't very good for you guys. More energetic than it actually was, but it was really amazing. It was a little bit hard at first because we typically ate yogurt with a lot of our meals, but I mean, you just switch very quickly. It's amazing, and plus we have the best cook ever here. I mean, yeah, amazing. Really, it's
And a question for Marcus, actually. So for a professional athlete who's already at their, supposedly at the top of their game, how is it that they can change their diet, as we saw in Game Changers, and get even better?
Yeah, no, it's a really good question. And it's really simple when it comes down to performance. You're really trying to be on the court or be on the field as long as you can. So what's the main inhibitor? It's injury. Injury is some form of inflammation, whether it's knee soreness, back pain, or it more than likely originated in your gut if it's happening for some other reasons. But most of it in sports is blunt force trauma, so it's poundage on the court or poundage from another person. At 34 years old, I jumped higher, ran faster, was stronger in every single way possible than when I was paid to fly around the world at 24, 25 years old and do it as a living. It blew my mind. Even this summer, I'm 36 now. In November I turned 36. I was 35 in the summer. I really don't play basketball anymore, and I average about 28 against 25-year-old guys playing in the NBA, playing in the G League, and playing professionally overseas. And it's just, when your body can recover, you unlock potential.
So for those of you who have not seen Game Changers, it's definitely a movie that you want to see for sure. Do you have another question?
Yeah, this speaks to imbalances that might come up if people do a plant-based diet, for lack of a better word, wrong. A friend said she tried a vegan diet and her hair was falling out. Are there reasons for that? And are there imbalances people can get into that they need to be warned about?
Yes, there's two common causes of that, and the hair loss is an uncommon phenomenon. Very few people actually experience it. But when a person comes to me with this, I think one of two things are happening. Estrogens make your hair grow very well. When a woman is pregnant, you see this luxurious hair growth during those 9 months when there's lots of estrogen in her body. She has her baby, and the estrogen levels fall, and she often reports hair loss after the hair starts coming out, or it doesn't look as lustrous. Well, on a vegan diet, especially if a woman's been eating lots of dairy products and she's pumped up her estrogen levels, estrogens work, including bovine estrogens. And when she adopts the vegan diet, there's a fall in estrogen level. And this is a good thing. She gets less breast lumps, less painful periods, less fibroids. It's not a bad thing, but the fall in estrogen can affect the hair follicles and result in a hair loss. It's a temporary thing. The hair follicles are still in there. They'll grow a new hair shaft within 12, 18, 24 months. The hair is coming back then. So that's usually not a problem. The other one is low thyroid function. Hypothyroidism can cause hair loss. And that's one thing you consider is an iodine deficiency. You want to make sure that a couple times a week you throw a little gob of sea vegetables into your salad or your soup, or you put a pinch of iodized salt on your veggies there to make sure you got a decent iodine intake. That would be the only two reasons for hair loss. Neither of them are serious. They both require a little bit of adjustment, especially the thyroid. But the hair always comes back, so nothing too much to worry about.
Yeah, definitely. I just kind of want to touch on a little bit of this, going through the phase of changing your nutrition from any style, let alone a plant-based style. So working in the gyms for years now, I mean, thousands of people have come through, and the first thing that they have to do is we're speaking about, hey, listen, in order to maximize your potential, in order to maximize the result that you're looking for, some people just want to move better, some people want to lose fat, some people want to get in better shape. Regardless, we're going to have to give you the proper nutrition to support that, right? It doesn't mean that you have to go off the board, like macronutrients, calories, time of day. It doesn't mean this, but we do have to start giving you proper fuel sources. Now, here's the thing with that. I've seen it from people that go from eating Atkins to eating paleo, or go from eating normal, just every day, to eating strict paleo, or people that go from eating regular to eating keto, or paleo to keto, or transitioning plant-based. Your body's gonna go through a change because it's learned to optimize whatever fuel sources you give it. The human organism is amazing, right? Your body's gonna take whatever you give it and perform as best as it possibly can. When you start to change the fuel source, your body's gonna be like, hey, we're not used to this, give us more of that. And it'll take you a little while to kind of come out of that. Again, you'll hear referred to as the keto flu or the paleo flu for other styles of eating. I found it to be the same thing, plant-based. That's why most times I suggest a very slow, gradual change. First is removing crap. Remove the worst stuff that you're eating. Then let's start to make some better decisions. And the last thing that I'll say is, especially when it comes to going plant-based, most people don't know what to eat when they go plant-based. On top of that, most of the people here probably are already in a caloric deficit, which means you're not eating enough, right? So even though a lot of people, there are a lot of people that eat in excess, most people that I found that come into really high performance or even just trying to exercise better, they don't eat enough. So now you go plant-based, now you have less options. You don't know that all the things that you really can eat. So now you've got yourself in this huge caloric deficit, and your energy is going to be super low. And if you do it, I've seen people do it over a very short amount of time. I was like, hey, you might want to just give yourself some time to ease into it. And they're like, no, I got this. They immediately get sick, they feel low energy, but that's because the fuel sources have changed. Your body's figuring out how it can work. That's it. For any type of nutritional change, that's gonna happen. So just being aware of that.
And I think one of the things that we really haven't talked about is vegan junk food much.
Yeah, 100%. And listen, it's something that we all enjoy, right? Like, it's here, you come to these events, but you start to know that, hey, I need to have it in some moderation, right? Because it's vegan, but it's still, you still are going to be having a ton of sugar, right? Your body's not going to know how to process all that. Or if that's something that you're having more of than you're having whole foods, eating a whole food plant-based diet, then your body's going to start to lean on that. So, I would say you just gotta, and this is also where we spoke before about logging. So when you're starting to transition, or you're starting to change the way you're eating, or you're speaking with someone, just tell them, write down how you feel. Today I felt great. Now the question is why? How much did you sleep? How much water did you drink? Have you had excess stress in your life? Whatever. And then now when you have good days and bad days, 3 years down the road, you can look back and say, man, I had really good weeks when I did this, did that, did this.
Next question is an individual in the audience apparently had Kawasaki's disease as a child. Have you ever seen research indicating that this is a diet-related disease? So for those of you who don't know what Kawasaki's disease is, it's really a vascular disorder. So I would think, I haven't really read any research on that, but I would think that it's more genetic related than anything because it starts very early in age. And I really haven't seen any research to suggest otherwise.
To start before age of weaning?
No, it's early on in the probably 3 to 5 year age when you start to see symptoms.
It's a bit of a mysterious disease, but when I hear there's any disease of the blood vessels, whether it's lupus or Kawasaki's, etc. Again, when you bite into a chicken breast or a steak, don't kid yourself, you are eating arteries and veins and capillaries and tendons and nerves. You're eating animal muscle, and there's a lot of blood vessels. And it's not untoward that some little fragment of an endothelium may have gotten reactive with your immune system. You've got antibodies against blood vessels cruising your system and causes some mischief there. Again, the body's not capricious. It doesn't, I think I'll whip up Kawasaki's disease. Something happened in the body. And I would think eating the arteries of some other animal probably set off the problem, but again, that's speculation.
This is a common thing I've heard before. Been vegan for 2 years, I still have trouble losing weight. Breakfast oat groats help, but any tips?
That's a not uncommon issue. If you're a vegan, you're having trouble losing weight, you're eating at least 3 things that are keeping the weight on you. First of all, understand that when we eat a combination of sugars and fats, we are sugar-burning organisms, we're carbohydrate-burning organisms. When you eat sugars plus fat at the same time, if you eat a donut or a piece of coffee cake, there's sugar in the flour and there's fat, the egg yolk or whatever, holding the donut together or the muffin together. So it's this fat-sugar combination. When you eat it, you burn the sugar and you store the fat. So ice cream is fat and sugar. So it's a great weight gain food. Pizza is a great weight gain food. You're going to burn the sugar in the pizza crust. You're going to store the sugar store the fat in the cheese and the sausage, etc. The fat-sugar combo gets to you and sticks to you. That's why vegan junk foods are so problematic. Even though vegan donuts, etc., taste good, they're still fat and sugar, and they're going to stick to you. The second thing is flour products in general. Stay out of bakeries. The flour products leap into the bloodstream. There's an insulin spike. It makes it harder to lose weight there. So stop flour products. Look out for that fat-sugar combination, and don't eat late at night.